Welcome back to KARE 11 News Now. The art of embroidery isn't just for grandmas anymore. Minnesota, home to a global employee-owned embroidery company known as the Embroidery Library. And as Alicia Lewis found out, it's creating unique, one-of-a-kind designs that you'll only find here.
A library not filled with books, but with needle and thread.
It takes a very special sort of creative mind to work here. You have to be a mix of an artist and an engineer.
I'll show you guys the digitizing process here.
It's called the Embroidery Library, a Minnesota company based out of Maple Grove that has customers around the globe.
So embroidery is an art form where you're using thread and then you're layering it in a beautiful way to create textured artwork. So in the end, you get this beautiful piece. You might put it on a shirt, or you might put it on a gift or a towel, and it's just a beautiful art form.
It's so exciting to see things coming out of the sewing room that I get to paint day to day. It's awesome.
It's here at the Embroidery Library where artists create one-of-a-kind designs that are available for purchase.
We get to live the artist's dream of creating art, putting it out for sale, and then watching people all over the world enjoy it and use it. And we get pictures of people putting it on clothes, and it's just a beautiful thing.
All of our designs show what order of thread you need, any specific instructions.
So day to day, it can vary wildly.
From birds to bees to flowers and trees. Each design is hand-drawn by one of 20 artists.
Probably my favorite part of the process is the ideation and the sketching, like all the possibilities that something could be, and a lot of these things that we draw in our sketchbooks.
Once a design is picked from the website, customers get detailed instructions on how to create their design at home, from thread colors to stitching tutorials.
Now the ball's in their court and they get to decide how they're going to make it and what colors they're going to choose, and that's a real joy to see that when they share that online with us.
Developing this afternoon, a federal judge has ordered half a dozen federal agencies to immediately reinstate probationary employees fired last month as part of the Trump administration's effort to rapidly shrink the federal workforce. The injunction requires the Departments of Veteran Affairs, Agriculture, Defense, and Energy to rehire those employees. We're going to focus on one of those groups a little closer right now, and that group is veterans. They make up about 30% of civil service jobs, and so these firings are hitting veterans hard across the country. And as Jana Shortle found out, it's happening here at home too.
The United States Flag Code states that an American flag should only be flown upside down to signal distress. Distress is what you'll find inside this home in Burnsville.
I did it not lightly. It took a lot of thought about it.
Retired Sergeant First Class Joy Marver didn't do it lightly.
It's my statement, really.
Because she earned her rank, serving 20 years in the Minnesota National Guard, beginning the year after 9/11.
It just seemed so patriotic at that time. It was united. I think that's the one time that I felt like I wanted to be part of that.
In the summer of her first deployment to Iraq in 2007, she was part of the reality of a war zone.
All I remember is one of my teammates pulling up in my door on my Humvee. The first thing I did is I was feeling my arms, my legs, and I'm like, okay, I realized then that something, I hit something.
But she was deployed again to Iraq in 2020, and again in Iraq.
Incoming. We were under a really big attack at that point.
Joy survived that rocket attack, but not without injury, a traumatic brain injury that made her what she is today, a disabled combat veteran.
When you signed up to be in the armed forces, you knew it could kill you.
Yes, because I'd rather have it be me over there versus anyone over here.
In May of last year, Joy began what she thought would be her final tour of duty, working as a support specialist with the Veterans Benefits Administration.
I felt the purpose again, and it wasn't for money. I definitely took a big pay cut working there. It was mostly just for a purpose at that point.
Did you like the job?
I loved the job. I was back with veterans, and veterans that understood me and everybody else, you know, that the invisible wounds, they understood that the path that we have all walked before.
Everything was great until 3 weeks ago, when she got to work and sat down at her computer.
As I was logging in onto my computer, it said my access has been revoked, seek administrator. Right then and there, I knew something wasn't right. Just knowing about all these cuts that are going on and seeing how many people have been let go the week before. So my heart sunk right to the bottom of my stomach, and I just knew
She was one of at least 1,400 people who were fired that day from the VA system. For Joy, it was because she was 2 months shy of being done with her probationary first year on the job. She left the VA and got in her truck.
as I was pulling away, I was at a red light. During that time in the morning, it is longer than usual due to rush hour traffic. And hit me at a moment, looking at the bridge and wondering if I could just take this truck and just drive it over the bridge. I was planning on it. I was thinking about just driving it right off there.
That plan almost became real until she saw out of the corner of her eye the VA hospital. She drove into that lot instead and walked in to the crisis clinic.
All I could get out was, I need help.
By the end of the day, Joy was home, safe, but in distress. And so she said so without saying a word.
It's not normal for a veteran to invert the flag. It's a statement right now. How to treat veterans.
Stick with us. More news and weather. It's coming up after the break.